Ladies and gentlemen, faith. There will be days when you don't feel like getting up, when every part of you just wants to rest, wants to sit, to coast. Those days will come, and they'll come often. But what makes the difference in life is what you do when those days arrive. Because look, no one is motivated every day. No one wakes up every morning ready to conquer the world. But the people who make it, the ones who succeed, they push past that. They force themselves to be active every single day, whether they feel like it or not. To live with purpose and make strides in any area of life, commitment over comfort has to be a guiding principle. Comfort is seductive, isn't it? It's that warm, familiar place where nothing pushes you, nothing challenges you. But if you're honest with yourself, you'll recognize that comfort doesn't get you anywhere new, it doesn't make you stronger, and it doesn't bring you closer to your goals. Commitment, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. It's the engine that drives you to step up, to keep moving, even when the path is hard, unclear, or uncomfortable. The people who achieve their goals in life aren't those who never feel tired or who always have motivation. They are the people who get up day after day and do the work no matter how they feel. Because commitment isn't about feeling good in the moment, it's about knowing where you want to go and sticking to that direction, even when every fiber of your being tells you to take a break or wait for a more convenient time. Now, commitment over comfort doesn't mean you push yourself to the point of exhaustion, ignoring the need for rest or recovery. It's about a mindset shift where you learn to listen less to that inner voice urging you to stay comfortable and listen more to the one that reminds you of your goals and why you started. It's about remembering why you're on this journey in the first place. When you're committed, you know deep down that every step you take matters, even the uncomfortable ones. It's those steps that make the difference between staying where you are and moving forward. Comfort might offer a temporary escape, a sense of relief in the moment, but commitment gives you long-term growth, transformation, and achievement. The truth is, comfort will always be there, tempting you to settle, to take it easy, to give in. But each time you choose commitment over comfort, you're building a foundation of resilience. You're telling yourself that you're capable of handling challenges, that you're stronger than any short-lived discomfort. And each time you make that choice, it becomes easier the next time. You build a habit of pushing yourself, of going just a little further, of staying true to what you've committed to. Commitment over comfort becomes a lifestyle, a powerful part of who you are. In the end, life rewards commitment, not comfort. Comfort keeps you safe, but commitment lets you grow, evolve, and become the person you're meant to be. It gives you control over your life because you're no longer swayed by moods or circumstances. You know what you want, and you keep going toward it. So in each moment, when you're faced with the choice between staying comfortable or pushing through discomfort to stay committed, remember that true fulfillment, real progress, and lasting success lie on the other side of comfort. Choose commitment, because that's where your greatest potential waits. Discipline over mood means understanding that true progress isn't about how you feel in the moment, but about staying focused and committed, regardless of your emotional state. Discipline is what makes the difference between setting goals and actually reaching them. Think about it, everyone has days when they feel motivated, and on those days it's easy to work hard, to be productive, to keep moving forward. But those days are rare. More often than not, you'll face moments when motivation is nowhere to be found. Those are the moments when discipline steps in. Discipline isn't about relying on how you feel, it's about training yourself to do what needs to be done, even on days when the effort feels heavy or the path unclear. When you operate from a place of discipline, you're giving yourself a gift, the ability to stay consistent. Consistency is what compounds over time to produce results. Just like drops of water carved through stone over time, small but consistent efforts lead to significant changes. Discipline is that steady driver behind every achievement because it doesn't waver with mood swings, doubts, or external circumstances. It teaches you to work on your goals not only when you feel energized or excited, but also when you feel discouraged or weary. This is where true growth happens, when you push through no matter what. People often wait for motivation, hoping it will carry them through their journey, but motivation is a fair weather friend. Discipline, however, is loyal. It's there when the motivation fades, keeping you grounded in your goals and reminding you why you started in the first place. Discipline builds mental toughness too. Every time you choose discipline over mood, you're strengthening that part of yourself that doesn't give up when things get tough. You're training your mind to prioritize long-term gain over short-term comfort, building resilience that goes beyond your immediate goals and extends to every aspect of your life. In a world full of distractions and easy escapes, discipline is rare, but that's what makes it powerful. It's not easy to ignore how you feel and instead do what you know needs to be done. But every time you choose discipline, you reinforce that you're in control, not your moods, not your doubts, but you. It's a form of self-respect and acknowledgement that your goals are worth more than temporary comfort. So practice discipline daily. Make it a non-negotiable part of who you are. Because in the end, discipline will take you places that motivation alone never could. Small actions build momentum, and that momentum is what sustains you when motivation wanes. Too often, people look at their goals and feel overwhelmed by how far they have to go. They think they need to make drastic changes or take giant leaps, but the reality is that success is built on small, consistent actions. These small actions may seem insignificant on their own, but they have a cumulative effect that's incredibly powerful. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. It's movement in the direction of your goal, and over time, those tiny steps build momentum that carries you forward. When you focus on small, manageable actions each day, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed. You don't have to think about conquering the entire mountain, just the next step right in front of you. This approach makes big goals feel attainable because you're breaking them down into pieces you can handle. And as you start to see yourself making progress, that progress fuels you. You begin to realize that you're capable of achieving more than you initially thought. That momentum creates a positive cycle. As you see results, you gain confidence, which encourages you to keep going, and that sustained effort leads to even more progress. Small actions also help you establish a routine, and routines are essential for maintaining consistency. When you incorporate small actions into your daily life, they become habits, things you do automatically. And habits are powerful. They shape who you are and determine the direction of your life. By committing to small actions each day, you're creating a habit of progress, training yourself to stay on track regardless of your circumstances or emotions. You're turning ambition into a daily practice, one that becomes a natural part of who you are. Momentum is what keeps you moving forward when things get tough. It's much easier to keep going when you're already in motion. That's why starting with small actions is so effective. It's not about doing something grand right away. It's about getting started and building a rhythm. And once you're in that rhythm, even setbacks don't stop you completely. You might slow down, but you don't stop because that momentum is still there, pushing you forward. So remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Start with one small action today, then another tomorrow. Let those actions build up over time, and you'll see how powerful that momentum becomes. Small actions may seem modest, but they are the building blocks of big results. Embrace them, stay consistent, and trust the process, because every small step you take is bringing you closer to the life you're working to create. Overcoming self-imposed limits is crucial because the greatest obstacles we face are often the ones we place upon ourselves. We all have internal boundaries, beliefs about what we can or cannot do, limits on what we think we're capable of achieving. These limits come from past experiences, fear of failure, or the judgments and opinions of others. But here's the truth: those limits are not real, they're imagined. They exist only in your mind, and each one is a wall you have the power to break down. When you learn to challenge these self-imposed limits, you open up a world of possibilities that you never imagined could be within your reach. Each time you push past one of your perceived limits, you expand your understanding of what you're capable of. The first step is realizing that those limits are not permanent fixtures. They're constructs of habit, a natural tendency of the mind to protect itself from discomfort or risk. But growth happens when you step out of that comfort zone. When you challenge yourself to try something new, to go a bit further, to push a little harder, you discover that your potential is far greater than you thought. This process of overcoming self-imposed limits doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be as simple as setting a slightly bigger goal than you're used to or doing something you've always been too afraid to try. It's in these small challenges that you start to rewrite your beliefs about what you can achieve. Each small victory chips away at those mental boundaries, and over time, you begin to see yourself differently. You no longer think, "I can't," or "that's too hard for me." Instead, you start to believe, "I can handle this and I can push further." Overcoming self-imposed limits is empowering because it reminds you that you have control over your life. When you stop allowing your fears or doubts to dictate your actions, you reclaim that power. You become the author of your own story rather than someone who's held back by imaginary barriers. This mindset shift will affect every area of your life because it teaches you resilience and adaptability. You no longer back down when things get tough. Instead, you look for ways to rise above the challenge. So every time you feel yourself pulling back, holding yourself back out of fear or doubt, remind yourself that those limits are not set in stone. They are only there because you allow them to be. You have the power to push beyond them, to redefine them, and to build a life that reflects your true potential. Embrace the challenge, face the discomfort, and step forward. Each step beyond your self-imposed limits is a step into a stronger, more capable version of yourself. Resilience through action is the process of building mental strength by continuously taking steps forward, regardless of the challenges you face. Life will throw obstacles your way, that's a certainty. But how you respond to those obstacles defines your journey. Resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you build over time, one decision at a time. Each time you choose action over inaction, courage over fear. Taking action, even small steps, is what keeps you moving forward when life becomes difficult. It's a powerful cycle. The more you act, the stronger your resilience grows, and the more resilient you become, the more capable you are of handling future obstacles. Every time you act, despite fear, doubt, or discomfort, you're teaching yourself that you're capable of overcoming what's in front of you. Think about a difficult workout or a challenging task at work. At first, it feels tough, maybe even impossible, but as you push through, you adapt. You start to realize that you can endure, that you're tougher than you thought. And each time you push past those initial feelings of resistance, you're strengthening that muscle of resilience. This resilience isn't just about physical or mental endurance, it's about the courage to face challenges head-on, knowing you can handle whatever comes. Action creates resilience because it shifts your focus from the problem to the solution. Instead of dwelling on how difficult something is or on how much you don't want to do it, you direct your energy toward taking steps to resolve it. When you focus on action, you're taking control. You're no longer passively waiting for things to get easier or for obstacles to disappear, you're actively working toward the outcome you want. This shift in focus makes challenges feel more manageable because you're not sitting in a place of worry or fear, you're moving forward step by step. Building resilience through action also means that setbacks don't have the power to stop you. Sure, they might slow you down, but when you're committed to taking action no matter what, setbacks become temporary. You might need to regroup, re-strategize, or take a different approach, but you won't quit. This is what resilience looks like, the ability to keep going no matter how many times you get knocked down. Over time, this mentality becomes second nature, and instead of seeing challenges as insurmountable, you see them as opportunities to grow stronger. Resilience through action gives you confidence too. When you know you've overcome tough times before, you start to trust in your ability to do it again. You begin to see yourself as someone who doesn't give up, someone who faces adversity and rises above it. That self-belief, that inner strength is invaluable. It's a foundation you can rely on no matter what life throws at you. So make the choice to act, to keep moving forward, and watch how your resilience grows with every step. Purpose, not comfort, should be your guiding force. Comfort feels good in the short term, but purpose is what fuels long-term fulfillment and true achievement. Comfort is predictable, safe, and easy, but it keeps you exactly where you are. Purpose, on the other hand, asks more of you. It asks for your commitment, for hard work, for a willingness to step into the unknown. When you live with purpose as your driving force, you're choosing to prioritize growth, progress, and meaning over temporary ease or familiarity. You're choosing to invest in a future that aligns with your values and goals. Purpose gives your actions a sense of direction. It's the reason you get up in the morning, the motivation that keeps you going when things get tough. When you're working towards something meaningful, every effort has a deeper value. Each step, each sacrifice is part of a bigger picture that reflects who you are and what you stand for. Comfort might give you a quick moment of relief, but purpose gives you something lasting, a sense of satisfaction and pride in what you're building. With purpose, even the difficult moments feel worthwhile because you know they're contributing to something important. Living with purpose requires a conscious choice. Comfort will always be tempting. It's human nature to want to avoid struggle or discomfort. But if you let comfort guide you, you're choosing to stay stagnant, to let potential slip away. Purpose, however, demands resilience. It asks you to push past discomfort, to try again when you fail, and to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. It's not easy, but that's why purpose is so powerful. It drives you to become a stronger, more capable version of yourself, one who's willing to do what's necessary to achieve their goals. When you live guided by purpose, you're also building a life that feels authentic. You're no longer swayed by what others think or by fleeting feelings. Instead, you're anchored by a sense of meaning and direction. Purpose becomes your compass, helping you make decisions that align with your vision for your life. This doesn't mean you'll never experience doubt or difficulty, but purpose gives you the strength to move through those moments. It reminds you why you're on this path and what you're working toward. In the end, choosing purpose over comfort is choosing to live fully. It's deciding that the life you want is worth every challenge, every setback, and every effort you put in. Purpose may not be the easy path, but it's the path that leads to real growth and fulfillment. So let your purpose guide you. Let it be the reason you keep going, even when comfort calls you back. Because comfort might be satisfying for a moment, but purpose is what makes life truly meaningful.